What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Now, before I start, actually, that microphone, the wrong microphone is in, so I'm going to have to change that. Apologies, people. Give me a second, because I'm
decided to change. Right, there we go. What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Apologies for the microphone audio, probably blown your ears off straight away. We should be good now. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody tuning in. Thank you very much for tuning in. We've had the weekend off and we're back. I'm a little bit tired, actually. I watched a little bit of the Super Bowl last night for Stan Kroenke's team, just more out of curiosity than anything. I'm not the biggest Super Bowl or American football fan, but I did stay up and watch some of it. To be honest, my highlight of the evening, I can't lie, anyone who's a big hip-hop fan, I stayed up for the halftime show, which for anybody who's a hip-hop fan at all, man, what an amazing show that was. See you, Net. Big up MD. But nah, man, I mean, look, we had Eminem, Kendrick, Dre, Mary J, Snoop, and 50 on stage, man. It was all mad. That was, for me, the best part of the whole Super Bowl. No disrespect. Some of you may be big fans of it. But for me, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But everyone was like, boy, man, no wonder we can't buy strikers and midfielders. All the money went into this show and into the performance. But I tell you what, I felt watching that whole event yesterday, I felt like, I know I joke about it a lot, we are more than the side dish. Like, I don't even know if we're the side dish. We're not even like the coleslaw. We're the tap water they give you. Like, the stadium is unbelievable. That is the best stadium in the world. The best. That is the best stadium in the world. Unbelievable. Look how big it is. Look at the screen they've got in the middle. Like $5.5 billion for that stadium. It was madness. The I really want to go and visit that stadium. I can't lie. And the show, the event, they showed you outside the stadium. I'm like, yo, We've got paint peeling off the Emirates. I'm not even joking, people. The paint is coming off the Emirates. And these, man, the stadium is unbelievable. Someone just said we're the ketchup. I'm telling you, tap water, the breadsticks. He does not care about us. You can see it. Look at the difference, man. We got paint fading off the Emirates. These, man, got the best stadium in the world by far, man. But what a halftime show. Man said we're the tap water. I'm telling you, not even bottled water, straight out of the tap. Do you know what I mean? Lime scale and all sorts, people. NFL pays for the halftime show. Yeah, to be fair, somebody did say that it isn't down to Kroenke to pay for that. The LeBron commercial was elite. LeBron's ridiculous, isn't he? Jashar said, big up Curtis. Stan was not so silent when it comes to the Rams. He was all there celebrating, lifting trophies, talking on the mic. Not so silent when it came to Arsenal. Someone said 50 was huffing and puffing. Yo, I'm a big 50 Cent fan, but yo, I don't know. I'm calling him $1 from now on because he looks like he's doubled in size. 50 was looking real heavy last night, man. I'm telling you, man. I don't know what happened to 50, man. Man's been living good, but yo, when he came down to do In the Club and he was hanging from the ceiling, I thought the whole ceiling was going to collapse. I'm calling 50 Cent $1 from now on, man. I don't know what happened, man. He's making too much money in power. Man, look hella heavy, bruv. I'm telling you. Man said £1.50. Yo, $1 business, you know. Curtis Jackson been eating. But listen, it was a great show. And obviously, the LA Rams won. I didn't watch the whole game. I've got to be honest. I was pretty much done after the halftime show. I'm a big fan of Kendrick. Big fan of 50. To see Snoop and Dre was full on cripping, man. It was mad. That was great. That was great. Man said, nah, call him £1,000 man's weight. C Unit going in on $1. No disrespect, man. I'm a big 50 Cent fan from back in the day, but boy, I'm calling him $1 from now on. The brother got big. Maybe, you know, when you get all that money, you know, you start You start living good. You're eating prime steak and that. You put the weight on. Mary J was wavy, man. I don't know how old she is, but she never ages. I don't know what it is. Something in the water. But yeah, great show. But obviously, Stanley Kroenke wins the Super Bowl. Now, what does this mean for Arsenal? He comes on the stage, he lifts the trophy, does a little speech saying how he justified moving them to LA and this, that, the other. They signed all these players out in the draft. Super Bowl champions. They haven't won the Super Bowl since 1999. They were in St. Louis at that time. They're obviously now in LA. He spent a fortune moving them to LA. He's got money. This guy is rich. This guy is rich. He is the 8th richest owner in world football. The 8th richest owner in world football. He's worth 9 billion. But we're getting crumbs off the plate, and people say to me, yeah, but we spent 150 million in the summer. That he could have took that out of his pocket. That's change. That's like taking £20 out of my wallet. It's light work for him. If he wanted to try and win the Premier League next season, he could. He could just say, I've had enough. I'm spending 300 million. We'll figure it out. But he doesn't want to. And that's what frustrates me so much about him, because, like I said, Mans Anderson said, we're getting crumbs. Are you serious? Bro, we're getting the crumbs. This is what I'm trying to... We're getting the crumbs. Look at this stadium. Look at their team. Look what they've just won. Look at the investment that went in to buy that land in LA. Do your research, bro. He bought the land. You know how expensive land is in a city like LA? And then built that stadium. Look at the surroundings. 5.5 billion on the stadium. We're getting the crumbs, bro. I'm telling you. Dry bread business and tap water. Is he going to invest in Arsenal? Now, to me, my feeling was going into the game, I wanted them to lose. I'm going to keep it 100, people. My feeling before the game was, yeah, I want him to lose. Because I don't think him winning makes any difference. I don't think he's going to sit there this morning and go, do you know what? That's it now. I want to win the Premiership. He has no passion for the Premier League. He has no passion for Arsenal. Arsenal is business. It's cold-hearted, money-making business. Now, the feeling always is that success breeds more success. The more money you have on the top, it trickles down the ladder, and the things at the bottom of the ladder become more successful. That's what you're hoping for. Will that happen? I don't know. Let's hope so. But I don't believe it. Obviously, they've won, so I'm trying to look at the positive side of it. The Rams won the game 23-20. I'm clutching at straws thinking he's going to try and, he enjoyed that success, and he's going to try and do that with Arsenal. Do I think he will? Probably not. Like I said, the paint is peeling off the Emirates. And I'm not capping when I'm saying that. Anybody who's been to the Emirates in the past year, the paint is peeling off the Emirates. We ain't even got deluxe paint. Mangis said Arteta is Arsenal is definitely his stepson. It's like when you meet that girl and you think, yeah, man, she's proper, but she's got that kid from that dodgy relationship she had, when she was younger, when she went out with some little bad dude, and you're like, man, just going to have to, he's just had to take the kid on. You know what I mean? I'm keeping it real, man. He just took Arsenal on. That was it. To make sure he could get LA. He needed a little, something that if the bank knew things went wrong, he had that there for them. That's all it was, people. I kid you not. KB Tube said Arsenal is the side chick acting like the main chick. Rams, then Arsenal. Sooner or later, Rapids ahead of us. Come on, he's just using us as a way in. What's he going to try and do now, people? What's the latest thing that's happening now? He's sending players now to Arsenal from his team in America. So it's just another route in. Right, I'm going to drop you a couple players from my team. And if one of them does well, then, it's a feeder. It's just a feeder program for him. And that's the way it is, whether we like it or not, people. But listen, all we can do is clutch at straws and hope that he's going to put something into Arsenal that's going to push us. And I know some people will say, yeah, but he spent 150 million. We know that 150 million doesn't make a big difference when your club is already all over the place. Arsenal need probably another 300 million from now. Never mind that 150 that got spent previously. Ice Freezy said PSG v Real Madrid popping off tomorrow. Big game that. Arsenal was his mistake. No protection settings. Anthony said, the man literally told us when he became majority shareholder he didn't buy Arsenal to win trophies. Why would that be any different today? We're just hoping, sometimes something gets triggered in your mind. You know what? When you lift trophies, when you win things, sometimes your mindset changes. You can think, right, I want to do this. But then you win, you think, wow, that feeling is overwhelming. It's amazing. That felt really good. I want to do that with Arsenal. I want to do that. What you're hoping is that Josh goes to him and says, Dad, listen, I want to win things with Arsenal. I want to lift trophies at Arsenal. But I just don't see it being like that. But we cling, we hope. It is what it is. Mark said City spent 100 million on a bench player. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to say. This is how I try and balance the argument, people. People say you spent 150 million. He took out 100 million loan. The other 50 million was income that the club made. He didn't take any money out of his own pocket. We spent 150 million on 5 players. Was it 5? Might have even been 6. Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, White, Tavares, Lokonga, Odegaard. 150 million on 6 players. City spent 100 on 1 player. Chelsea spent 100 on Lukaku. That's the levels. When you spend 150 million, you need to be buying 2 players, not 6. Significantly better players that will lift the standard. Kroenke did not spend 150 million on Arsenal this summer. 100 million loan, 50 million was earned. The club will probably repay that loan, not Stan Kroenke. Penalty spot said, good to see him lifting trophies. I was beginning to think he had an underarm, bro. He don't want to lift trophies at Arsenal, does he? That's the thing, man. Curtis, you were the one saying he spent money. Listen, what I mean, Zach, obviously the club spent money. The club has spent money and he is the owner. But it's where the money comes from and the way it's structured. Arsenal have spent money. Arsenal have spent money. I'm not saying that Kroenke has spent money. Kroenke has spent 15 million out of his own pocket since he's been at the club. So make sure you smash them likes, people. Happy Monday. You know what? Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. It's a day of love, although every day should be a day of love, right? But hope you're all enjoying yourself, celebrating. And doing some nice things today. Let's get 1,000 likes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow the Twitch link in the description. Big up to South London's finest for always supporting. Don't forget this video is sponsored by Speech. Brand new fantasy football app on behalf of OneFootball. You can win up to £70,000 each week. Doesn't matter that the season's already started. They do weekly prizes and competitions. You do have to be 18 and you have to be in the UK and Ireland at the moment. So download Spitch, link in the description, and free to play as well. Happy Valentine's Day to the C Unit. C Unit. 50, you got to pass on G Unit, bro. I'm telling you, yesterday. 50 been living good. Like I said, we're calling 50 $1 from now on because the boy, he doubled in size. Curtis, the club will spend money this time around. Listen, Junior, it's not even this time around. We've always spent money. Do you remember that summer? Granit Xhaka, Mustafi, Lucas Perez. We spend money. We've always spent money. It's how we spend it. That is the issue. Forever Kroenke out said, broke up with my girlfriend today. She told me it's between her or Arsenal. She found herself single. Oh, dear. It's a risky game, that, giving you full commitment to Arsenal. They're definitely stressful. Yeah, a gaming channel. We're going to do FIFA. I may even do some Grand Theft Auto. We will do football content on Twitch as well. So like I said, when we lick 1,000, we're moving, people. We're moving. We need that Arab money. We need some oil money, man. I'm telling you. Right, let's talk football. Forget the politics. Forget the Super Bowl and all that. Let's talk good old Arsenal football. And let's start with transfers, potential transfers. Transfer window's only just closed, but they're doing the rounds already. Yeah, reaction channel. That's something I wouldn't mind doing, especially with music. I'm a big, hip hop fan, I love hip hop and stuff like that. Maybe we could do some reaction videos. We're going to do some different stuff. That is for sure on there. So make sure you follow the Twitch channel, man. We're going to do another YouTube channel as well soon. Let's talk about this man. Armando Broja. I call him Rice Pudding. Ambrosia settings, people. Rice Pudding. Ambrosia. If you know, Ambrosia settings. But Armando Broja. He is 20 years old. Kid cracks it here, Chelsea fan. He's saying, allow my guy Broja. We're going to talk about him in a little bit of detail. I'm going to get some stats up. I've done some research before we've got in here. We're going to talk about him in detail. He is 20 years of age. He's on loan at Southampton from Chelsea. And according to Chris Wheatley, who is a pretty good source at Arsenal, he's saying that Arsenal are keeping a very close eye on him about a summer move. Ambrosia settings, man. Rice pudding business, people. How elite was rice pudding as a dessert when you was a kid? Like you said, Reem, splash of jam in the middle. Oh, I actually want rice pudding now. But Armando Broja is being linked with Arsenal. Now, HK said he's better than fruit salad and Ketia. That's for damn sure he's better than him. Let's put this into context. He signed a 5-year contract in the summer with Chelsea. He had a year left on his deal. He would have been out of contract this summer. So he would have been available on a free transfer, or you would have just paid compensation for him. But he signed a 5-year contract under Thomas Tuchel. And apparently Thomas Tuchel is a big fan of him. So I have to put this into context before I give my full opinion on what I think about this guy. Now, he's been at Chelsea for a few years. He's played under 19s, under 23s. He's an Albanian international. Apparently rejected the chance to play for England under 21s to play full international for Albania. He has 7 caps, 3 goals, 2 assists. He went on loan to Vitesse Arnhem in the Dutch Eredivisie, which is their Premier League. He got 10 goals in 30 games, 2 assists. Not bad for a youngster. He was only 19. He's gone to Southampton. He's got 6 goals in 20 Premier League games, 2 in the EFL Cup. So 8 goals in 22 games. Now, I watched him the other day against Manchester United. And he had Harry Maguire doing the wacky dip on the pitch. I seen Harry Maguire, he burning what nobody, wacky dip. Yo, man at Maguire doing the wacky dip. If you've seen the picture, you know what I'm talking about. He had man doing no-look defending at Old Trafford. I was like, yo, Harry Maguire that's a whole conversation in itself. He ruined him. He absolutely ruined him. Semolina settings, yo. But my question would be, is Broja good enough to be Arsenal's first choice striker? I think if Arsenal signed Broja, I would expect another striker to come in. I'm just not sure at the moment if where we are trying to go, whether he is good enough to come to Arsenal and be number one. Aubameyang's gone, Lacazette will go, and Ketia will go. That leaves us with no striker. Could you put your trust on him at 20 to come to Arsenal, lead the line and be the man? I would say no. I would look at him as the Lacazette / Eddie and Ketia replacement. That would be fine for me. We would then need another striker to probably be the goal-getter, the Aubameyang replacement long term. We're going to need 2 strikers this summer regardless. Wolves FL, big up to you, bro. We'll see you again in a week or so. And listen, we have to... In fact, we're going to speak about that later, actually, the results of the week. But can Arsenal beat Wolves at the Emirates, what they haven't done for 3 seasons? You just coming in early on Valentine's Day and just letting off the clip on me like that. Boop! All right, fair enough. We handled business at Molineux last week. We have to handle business at the Emirates next week. We'll see. It'll be an interesting game. Wolves are actually probably better away from home. So big up to you. Appreciate the super chat. Now, I'm reading a few articles. And according to reports, they're saying that Chelsea would want over £30 million for him. £30 million for a guy that's halfway through his first Premier League season. Now, what's interesting, and I heard, big up Fran, I just heard the end of Fran's stream as I was in the car, and he made a good, a spot that Arsenal are seeming to be looking for a target man striker, which I think is really interesting because when you look at it, we've always said that Arteta will model this whole process on Pep Guardiola's system. Pep Guardiola's system is as far away from that in terms of the striker. Pep's actually playing with no striker, although Pep did try and sign Harry Kane, who is a bit of a target man goal scorer. All the strikers we're looking at are big physical presence. Vlahovic, Isaac, Calvert-Lewin, now Broja. All these guys, 6 foot, can hold the ball up strong, wants to get crosses in the box. Amo said we are Wimbledon FC. Yeah, people said we're a B-Tech Burnley. But it's just interesting that we're kind of looking for that Olivier Giroud, who's probably a little bit more mobile. Giroud wasn't the most mobile or the quickest. So it is interesting. While a lot of clubs are moving away from that kind of old school number 9 striker and going for this more link-up striker, it appears that Arteta wants that actual target man number 9 striker in the middle. Now, there's a few things you got to look at here. Number 1, Chelsea sell players on their terms. Let's get one thing straight here, right? If Chelsea want Broja at Chelsea, they're keeping him. And if they want to sell him, they're going to try and bump you. They're one of the best-selling clubs, probably after Liverpool. I believe Liverpool are probably the best. They got 25 million for a man like Ryan Brewster, but Chelsea are right up there. Now, we've been to Chelsea on a few occasions. William Gallas in an Ashley Cole swap deal, horrendous deal. David Luiz, they didn't want him. They thought he was washed. And Willian. So we haven't exactly been successful when we've gone to Chelsea with our hand out. They're taking things out the recycling bin and giving them to us. They ain't giving us their star players. We've never signed N'Golo Kante or Drogba or, Diego Costa. We're signing the players they don't want. So I think we have to understand, if Chelsea are going to sell him, they're going to ask for big money. They're going to ask for 30 plus million. They're going to ask for a buyback clause or a sell-on clause or something like that. Marina will absolutely finesse Edu if they do business. All right, let's be real. We'll get finesse. Sebastian Haller, do you know what? I just wanted to speak about this because somebody messaged me this the other day. Somebody sent me, I forget the name, apologies, on Twitter, an in-depth message saying, listen, Arsenal, go and get Sebastian Haller. I know he flopped at West Ham, but he's ripping up the place. Ajax under Ten Hag, different system to what David Moyes had. He's 27. He's ripping up the Champions League. Just briefly, off topic, would you take Sebastian Haller at Arsenal? He has 10 goals in 6 Champions League games this season. He's broken Ronaldo's record. And he's got 16 in 19 in the Dutch league. Problem is, at West Ham, he got 10 goals in 48 games. And he was considered a Premier League flop. But definitely interesting. So that was a good one. I appreciate that. Man said Sebastian Haller is dross. Swain said he's ish. Ajax is perfect for him. Man said no way. Khalid says no. Dixie said no. Jake said yep. Half Vlog says no way. To be honest, I'm not sure. It's interesting, isn't it, man? Also, when a player comes to this country and flops, we write them off. And I get it. I do get it. And a lot of people will say as well that he's in the Dutch league and the Dutch league is not great. No disrespect. But the fact he's doing it in Champions League is where I kind of think twice. Broad said Arsenal always shopping in the reduced section. I'm not going to lie. TK Maxx red sticker. Half price. Doesn't fit you, but you'll take it because it looks nice. Simple as that. Big up Broads. Marcos Big C, would you take Antonio at Arsenal? I wouldn't. He's 31. But we need someone like that. A big physical presence up there. Oh my Jay said, no, not for me. Dutch League isn't all that. Champions League is a good barometer. We need someone younger. Interesting. Schick is more ideal. Poll. All right, let's get the first poll up of the week. Let's get the first poll up. Would you take Sebastian Haller at Arsenal? I think it's an interesting one. I just like to see the viewpoint because, all right, let me tell you this. This is how I would explain it. If Sebastian Haller had never come to the Premier League, I think we'd all take him. We'd go 27, big, strong, ripping up the Champions League, ripping up the Dutch League. Take him. You know, but because he's been here and struggled, we've wrote him off. And I get it. I do get it. Would you take Haller at Arsenal? There's the first poll. There you go. It's up, people. First poll of the week. The poll is up. Shicky's better, said Uzi. Maybe a second choice striker. We need 2 strikers anyway. Brandon said you are correct with that. Get Haller and Ten Hag, 100%. Goon said Big C, Haller is banging in the Champions League because they were in the worst group, Sporting, Besiktas and Dortmund. Craig said, Curtis, how do I become a mod? I am going to change some of the mods. Basically, there is a limit on the amount of mods you can have on a YouTube channel. And I think a few of my mods are inactive at the moment. So I'm going to take a few off and add a few of you who are regulars in the community. So I will do that and I'll message people and stuff like that. Haller is better than Isaac, in my opinion. Zach said that's not the worst group. Exactly, Dortmund and that, you know, no mugs, Sporting Lisbon. Ajax play free-flowing football. He'd struggle under Arteta. Chris said Maguire did the cha-cha slide. Slide to the rev. This time. He was all over the... You know what? I'm not going to lie. I think United are going to have to cut their losses on Harry Maguire. I really do. Just one thing while we're talking about it. I want to talk about the weekend's action. Harry Maguire, for me, I've always had this opinion on him. He is a system centre-back. Harry Maguire is a system centre-back. There is a bit of a feeling that Maguire is a terrible centre-back. I actually don't agree with that. I think Maguire is an okay centre-back in a certain system. Now, I'm not saying I want him, like Dr. Sin said. I don't want him at Arsenal. You can keep him. But what I'm saying is, you put Maguire in a 3 for England in the summer. One of the best centre-backs in the Euros. Why? Because he's got the pace of Walker, the protection, the ball player of John Stones, and you've got Rice and Phillips protecting him. There you go. You've said it. You put Declan Rice and players like that in front of him. He's going to look good. 99 Gooner thinks I'm trolling. I'm genuinely not. Leicester played on the edge of their penalty area, and he looked like a monster. There was no space in behind him. He won every header. He was strong. He was physical. Man United paid 80 million for him because he looked like a beast. Plays for England, looks like a beast. Defends deep, scores headers, back 5, tank. Man United want to play on the front foot. They've got fast wingers, fast attackers. They're trying to get up the pitch. They're pushing Maguire 10 yards behind the halfway line and he gets exposed. So I always look at things and think, it's not always you're a bad player, you're a terrible player. He's a system player. He can only play in a certain team, in a certain system. Man United should not have bought him. They shouldn't have bought him because they didn't want to play like that. You buy him when you sit on the edge of the penalty area. Now, Neil, Perma at Arsenal. I didn't rate him. I didn't rate him at all. He was probably the slowest centre-back I've ever seen. You put him on the edge of the penalty area, he looked great because he had no space to get exposed. People think I'm capping. Honestly, I'm not exaggerating. Harry Maguire in a back 5 playing deep is not a bad centre-back. He dominates in the air. He's good in tight spaces. You start opening up spaces and playing him in a back 4, he gets ruined. And that's what it is. And he can't handle the pressure of Man United either. I don't think he's a Manchester United level player. And it was a strange signing from the get-go for me. It really was. I think it was a desperation English tax centre-back move. And it wasn't the type of deal they needed. But yeah, I'm being real. Some people say I'm capping. But no, I'm telling you. If you saw him at Leicester, he was a tank. Remember, people have to understand this. Pep Guardiola was trying to sign him at Manchester City before he went to Man United, but Pep backed out of it. But listen, he is overrated. It's English tax. It's Premier League tax, you know. I reckon Maguire, United should sell him. He probably ends up he'd do well at West Ham. He'd do well at a West Ham. They play quite deep, hit you on the counter-attack. For Antonio, he could go Newcastle and get weighed in, go and get the money. But he's not a Manchester United centre-back. Varane's a class act, and he's carrying this guy, you know. You're spot on. Not everyone agrees. It's opinions, you know. People saying £80 million for a fridge. I hear you. Jack said, love the background memories, brother. Wenger's Arsenal team, the boss for Premier League years. Respect. Bro, that's all we got as Arsenal fans right now. I'm clinging to the history. Malva said Maguire was world class in England. Listen, anyone who watches them Euros back, he was a tank for England, you know. But they played deep. Back five looked good. He'll do well at Wimbledon. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Maguire fits us. We reward bang average players. It was a strange one. Him and Wan-Bissaka were horrendous signings for Manchester United. That is what you call Premier League English tax. Those two, dreadful. Wan-Bissaka, I think I think Wan-Bissaka might even be worse than Harry Maguire. Honestly, I think he's absolutely shocking. He genuinely isn't a footballer. He's just an athlete. But that's a whole other conversation. We'll leave Man United to deal with those problems anyway. But listen, it was a great week for Arsenal without really playing. Tottenham were beaten at the weekend by Wolves. They got battered 2-0. Could have been 3-4-0. And the thing is, Wolves are so good at counter-attacking that when you are at home and you attack them, they break, they're quick, they keep the ball well, and they dominated. And Spurs were absolutely dreadful. Davinson Sanchez had an absolute nightmare. Hugo Lloris, I think you need to check his betting accounts because I don't know what he was doing. Conte has lost 3 games in a row for the first time in 13 years as a manager. It's so typical that he goes to Spurs, and within 6 months, he's breaking records like that already. They play Manchester City next week, by the way, at the Etihad, so they're going to get slapped up there as well. So not a good time for them at the moment. And obviously, West Ham drew with Leicester. They were very fortunate to get that draw as well. That header at the end was handball, in my opinion. Shouldn't have been given. And, of course, Man United drew with Southampton. We were looking at Broja in that game. He absolutely bullied Harry Maguire all over the place. And we were talking, obviously, about Broja earlier. My opinion of that Broja situation, just to round it up, if we're buying 2 strikers, which we should, he would be a decent option. But I don't think he should be the guy we're signing to be the first choice striker at Arsenal. He's young. He hasn't proved himself yet. I know sometimes you have to take a chance on these young players. But I just think Chelsea will bump us. They'll ask for 30 million plus for him. I actually don't think Chelsea will sell him, personally. They gave him a 5-year deal for a reason. Buenos Aires Gunnar said, Borja made Maguire do the stanky leg. Do the stanky leg. Stink. Yo, man was skanking on Old Trafford. I thought there was a rave going on. It was mad. South London's Finest said, Conte has aged about 30 years. He needs to get that hold-in hair plug. I'm telling you now, I think Conte must sit there in that office and think, yo, this is worse than I thought. Like, Conte, for me, is an elite manager. One of the best in the world. I'd put him top 5 in the world. But he's got a real big job on his hands, man. He really has at Tottenham. They got issues there. But listen, the top 4 race is opening up. And I think something that's interesting with this whole top 4 race is it's almost a case, and I said this last week, whoever gets 4th, it's not because they're particularly good. It's just because they made the least mistakes in this last... Arsenal have got 16 games left. You look at West Ham, I think they're struggling a little bit now because of their lack of squad depth. When they take Antonio off or they take Jared Bowen off, the replacements are not of the same level. They're in Europe as well. It's going to stretch them over the next couple of months. Man United, I just don't understand how Manchester United play football. I honestly don't. on paper, Manchester United have got one of the best teams in this country. They should be challenging for the title. I genuinely think that Cristiano Ronaldo was a mistake. I'm going to say it. And I'm a massive, massive CR7 fan. I think he was a mistake. I think the problem was Man United couldn't let him go to Manchester City. They knew commercially it's too big. They know the fan base is going to go insane. So they panicked and they signed him. They were trying to create a quick, high press, pacey attack. And Cristiano Ronaldo is the total opposite of all of that. Man are calling him CR37. I mean, the disrespect for a guy that, you know, sometimes when you've been a legend at a football club, you should never go back there. Remain a legend, because when Ronaldo leaves Manchester United in the summer or next summer, he's going to be looked at as, yo, when he came back, he wasn't really all that. But he's 37 years of age. He actually doesn't suit their system. They've got wingers that don't really cross the ball that well. Rashford's always shooting, trying to knuckleball it from everywhere. Sancho's trying to find his feet. He's more of a goal-scoring winger. And Ronaldo's just in the middle, and now he's missing chances. They're calling him Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, I don't want to do it. I'm not about slandering Ronaldo, but I've got a sense of humour, and sometimes I get drawn in. Zach, I did call him the Portuguese Benteke on a stream. It was there. I shouldn't have done it, but it made sense at the time. Man said CR7. Oh, no, it's horrible. Ronaldo, man, Ronaldo. But Man United, like I said, on paper, their team's ridiculous. They just don't seem to click. They haven't got the right manager. Their manager knows football, but he knows it as a technical director, not really as a manager. And Spurs are just... I just don't think they're very good. Harry Kane's not scoring goals. People aren't talking about it. You know, when Aubameyang didn't score goals, oh, he's finished. He's garbage. Oh, get rid of him. He's terrible. And, you know, Harry Kane's got 5 goals in the Premier League. 5 goals in 21 appearances this season for England's golden boy striker. And no, I don't hear no pundit talk about it. You know, Aubameyang's got 4 goals. And he didn't play since the first week of December. Harry Kane's having a stinker of a season for Tottenham, you know. So listen, what I will say from an Arsenal point of view, top 4 is wide open. It's just whether we've got the quality to get over the finish line. It's just whether there's enough goals in this Arsenal team that when we start playing some of these better teams, can we beat them? When you look at this Premier League top 8, fortunately, we've played Manchester City home and away already, where a lot of teams will go there and get slapped. I hear you, 99 Gooner. Kane is world class, and he has only had 1 quiet season, so people will excuse it. So I do get it. Faye said the disrespect for Ronaldo is real. It's sad. Listen, I think Ronaldo is, he's one of the best players we've ever seen play the game. So any slander towards him is purely banter. Man put C unit. Man said, see you later. He's off in the summer, mate, I'm telling you. But listen, I think everybody would agree that move has not worked out. He looked like he was starting off well, but it certainly hasn't gone well so far. Top 4 is just going to be a case of what team can hold it together. We've played Liverpool away. We've still got to go to Stamford Bridge. I believe we've still got to go to West Ham. We've got Man United at home, Wolves at home, Tottenham away. These are the games where it's going to be like, can we handle it? Is Lacazette going to score those goals? Are the wingers going to get those goals? You have to score to be successful in the Premier League. That is my one issue. You look at this top 8, Wolves and Tottenham, the teams below us, we've scored more than them. Everyone above us has scored more than us. It's not a coincidence. Christian, thank you for the super chat. We at least have a solid defence. That may be enough. The teams around us are more of a mess than we are. Now, the good point you make there, when you've got a better defence, there's not as much pressure to score as many goals. You look at teams like Man United, they've got to score 2 or 3 goals to win a game every week because they're going to concede. Where Arsenal, you know, our defence is not bad. So we may not have to score 3-4 goals to win every week. But there are going to be games, especially against better teams. You're 1-0 down, you're 2-0 down, and you've got to score 3 goals. Have Arsenal got those goals in them? Faye said Maguire and Shaw are the new Chuckle brothers. Chris said Rob Holding is better than Harry Maguire. I don't know if I'd go... I don't know. I think Maguire's better than Holding. I can't lie. But listen, one cost 80 million, one cost 2 million. They're both pretty bad. Dada said, thank you very much for becoming a new member, bro. I really appreciate that. We'll probably do a member stream next week. Future Spot said the 4th spot race really is shocking. It's an absolute mess. I'm not really. I'm not sitting there thinking, yo, this Arsenal team, man, we're on fire, we're moving. Like, I'm more looking at like we're benefiting from other people messing up and we're just hanging in there. And we've got a good run of fixtures, like I said, Brentford, Wolves, Watford, Leicester. If we can pick up 3 or 4 wins out of them next 4 games, Man U play Man City in a couple of weeks, Tottenham play Man City, then Man United play Spurs. There's going to be a lot of points dropped there. Let me end this poll now. Let me see what you said around Sebastian Haller. 54% of you said no. You didn't want him. 46% said yes. I think the general feeling, a lot of people were saying, despite his brilliant goal record, he's not necessarily suited to the Premier League. And Ajax play nice football. Arsenal don't necessarily. Rashan said, Curtis, I support United. All I can say is Maguire is a fraud. We were sold a dream. We would have been better off buying Wes Morgan. Listen, as I said, I think Manchester United have to look at themselves and their recruitment and what kind of centre-back they were buying. He came up from the lower leagues. He's a straight up and down, 6'2", 6'3", big, head it and kick it centre-back merchant. That's all he is. And United have signed him, pushed him up to the halfway line and are asking him to play on the ball. He's not that guy. And he's not good enough. He's not good enough. I think United will have to cash in on him. Like I said, I think a West Ham would probably take Maguire. If not, just chuck him to Newcastle on a money hype. Maguire over Koulibaly. Yeah, there were rumours they turned down Koulibaly. That was ridiculous. Big up Gambian Goon. He said, would you take Broja? He looks like a gem. I mean, just as I said earlier, bro, I think he looks a real young talent. First of all, I don't think Chelsea will sell him because I think he could be a Lukaku replacement. I think they'll probably sell Timo Werner. And second of all, if they do sell him, they will want 30 million plus. He signed a 5-year deal in the summer. Zach said, I'm smelling the Champions League, Curtis. I can't lie. I mean, I hope so. It's the distant dream. For now, just at least get back in Europe. But I want us to be in the Champions League. Senderos was better. Listen, it's an argument. Arsenal games in hand. Wolves, Liverpool and Chelsea. Yeah, we'll beat Wolves anyway. We don't worry about Wolves, man. We call you the puppies, man. Them Wolves. We tamed them Wolves last week. We turned you lot into some little chihuahuas at Molineux anyway. No, but listen, I know it'll be a tough game at the Emirates. Wolves are better away from home. Let's talk about a couple of other things. A bit more transfer news, despite the fact the transfer window is closed. I thought this was an interesting story that came out today. It came out of The Athletic, which, as I always say, is basically Arsenal's mouthpiece in the media. Broad said, if we get Champions League, do you think we could compete? No. Not really. Get out of the group. And it depends how much they spend. If we got Champions League, we'd have to spend 150 to 200 million. Otherwise, we get slapped. We'll end up third in the group and end up back in the Europa League anyway. Wolverhampton Chihuahuas, man. You haven't beat us at the Emirates in 3.5 years. Listen, we'll see you in a week or so. The Wolverhampton Chihuahuas, we're waiting for you, man. Story came out of The Athletic, and I thought this was interesting. And this is why I was talking about tactically who Arteta is looking for. According to The Athletic, Arsenal had the opportunity to explore a potential swap deal with PSG, which would have involved Mauro Icardi coming to Arsenal in a swap deal with Aubameyang going to PSG. It might have been an interesting prospect, but as with various possibilities that came Arsenal's way, it did not develop. And the story in The Athletic said that Arsenal were the ones who didn't want the deal to happen rather than it being rejected by Icardi or by PSG. Now, let's get the second poll up of the day. Would you have swapped Icardi for Aubameyang? Now, listen, Arsenal needed and still need a striker. I've got to be totally honest. I'm not a fan of Icardi. He had a very good 2-year spell when he was at Inter, where he was banging goals in. I think he got 29 goals in one season, and people were raving about him. I don't know what it is about him. Every time I watch him play, I'm so underwhelmed. He just looks limited to me. Maybe he's a good finisher. He's been a big flop at PSG. You know, he sits on the bench most weeks. He's got 4 goals this season in 19 games. Most of them were on the bench. They tend to, obviously, when everyone's fit, they play Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. So I can understand in one sense, nobody's going to break up that front three. But even when he plays, he doesn't do much. He's 28. He turns 29 this month. He's on massive wages. And we all know about his wife, who's his agent. You know, they're troublemakers. They tend to get caught in trouble wherever they go. People saying he's got loads of baggage. Top. He's a problem. He's a problem. For me, we were desperate for a striker. So on one hand, I would have preferred him to Eddie Nketiah. But a 29-year-old Icardi that's on, according to this, he's on 10 million a season. So let me just work that out. 10 million, 52. He's on 192 grand a week. For me, absolutely no chance. I actually respect Arsenal for not doing that deal. Oh my J said, yes, purely because Aubameyang wasn't being played, but it's clear Arteta doesn't want a traditional number 9. Still trying to copy Pep. Icardi would remind you of Falcao to Man United. No, Icardi backstabbing his mate is what he's known for. Let's say Arsenal sign him in the off-season. They better not, Dre, man, I'm telling you. Chris said, Curtis, Man United is like maths. They will say 1 + 1 is 3, not 2. Down Tools FC. Origi is out of contract in the summer. Listen, said it a few times. And a lot of people don't like the comment. But I try and add context to this. Somebody even said, am I getting commission on this deal? Arsenal need 2 strikers this summer. You get rid of Nketiah, you get rid of Lacazette, and Aubameyang's gone. We have no striker. Balogun would come back from his loan. He would be the youngster. Arsenal would need a number 1 and a number 2 striker. I would take Origi as the number 2 at Arsenal. He's a free transfer in the summer. He's 27. He's a Belgian international. He's got a point to prove because Klopp has never really used him on a regular basis, and he scores important, big goals, and he's not bad in the air either. I would then go and buy a better striker for 60, 70 million. That's going to be your first choice. But Origi, a second choice on a free transfer, absolute no-brainer, in my opinion. I would definitely take him. But a lot of people are just like, no, he's at Liverpool, he's not playing, I wouldn't take him. Beggars can't be choosers. I would definitely take him. I'd get Gnabry. Listen, we know Gnabry wouldn't come to Arsenal unless we had Champions League. If we had Champions League, maybe, because Gnabry keeps saying he wants to play in the Prem. Origi all day. That might have to be the third poll. You know what? Let me end this poll, right? We'll end this one. 73% of you said you wouldn't have taken Icardi in the swap deal, which I agree with. I want to ask you this. Would you take Origi on a free? On a free as backup striker? Let me state that before everybody starts going, oh, Origi's not good enough for Arsenal. Would you take Origi on a free as backup striker? All day long for me. If that's not 85% or higher saying yes, I'm not happy. Nah, but listen, give me your true opinions. Icardi, Arsenal didn't get the deal done. I'm good they didn't. Faye said Origi is a good player. Wolves is back. Are we Wolves? We are Wolverhampton Chihuahuas. Yeah, but do you know what, though? I respect the way you slapped up Spurs. So I'll upgrade you from a Chihuahua to Staffordshire Bull Terrier. So I'll give you that. A little upgrade for Wolves. We'll see you in a week or so. Curtis said it before that Origi could be like Wiltord, not the main man, but scores goals 100%. Ash said 100%. Lewis said all day. LFC for life said no brainer. Origi on a free all day, said Anthony. Salman said I would take him now over Lacazette and Eddie. I genuinely think he would score more than Lacazette all day. Lacazette's got 3 goals. We're in February. He would have got more than that. Hendon Guna said, yep, it's a no-brainer. Public and me said surely. Raul said, corner taken quickly, Origi. Broad said, these lot talk about Origi, they can't put their medals on the table. I mean, man's a Champions League and Premier League winner. Abdi said, I'd take Origi as number 1 striker. Alvin said, all day. He's good, man. He wouldn't come to be number 2, but you sell it him as, listen, we're signing 2 strikers. You're going to compete with each other to be the number 1. You don't sign him and tell him you're going to be the second choice. I think he would come to Arsenal as well. I get the impression he likes the Premier League, and I would take him. He's quite tall as well. Neil said, get Origi and Calvert-Lewin. I'm not totally convinced by Calvert-Lewin because of the injury record. But we'll have to see. Cruz saying get Haller, but I don't know about Haller, man. I don't know if we play the football to get the best out of him. Let's talk about somebody who could be a potential striker for Arsenal this season. I've spoken about this a number of times, and I think this is what we should try and use at some stage this season. Now, there is a report coming out of Football London that Gabriel Martinelli has been training as a striker for the last couple of weeks at Arsenal. And I've said a number of times, if Lacazette is not the guy, we have to find a solution from within the club until the end of the season. This, for me, is the one that I would go for. Gabriel Martinelli. He can press, he's aggressive, he runs, he shoots. I would try him. I think every time I've watched him play, I say he's going to become a striker eventually. He just gives me that striker vibe. Give him that number 14 shirt and play him through the middle. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Bang Smith-Rowe on the left, Saka on the right, Odegaard 10, Martinelli up top, bish, bash, bosh. He's better than Eddie. It'll be more of a goal threat than Lacazette. Okay, the question mark over him will be how good can he be with his back to goal? Is his hold-up play good enough? That's something you got to work on. It's not always natural for every striker. I would definitely try him there. Because Lacazette is not as much of a goal threat. Now, you look at a lot of strikers now, you know, they're lightweight. Look at the way Jota's been playing up front for Liverpool. Not the most physical, but he's clever. He makes intelligent runs. He's good with the ball at his feet. He can press. I would definitely try him. Boss Carter said Pepe. See, a lot of people say that. My issue with Pepe up front, when Pepe plays out wide and he's one-on-one with the fullback, a lot of the time he doesn't run at them. He's hesitating and thingy. Strikers can't be like that. At least with Martinelli, when Martinelli's one-on-one with a fullback, he's running at you. Doesn't always work, doesn't always come off, but he's driving. Like Broja just said, I think he'd be an off-the-shoulder striker. You're not going to pump long balls up to him and ask him to hold it. But you get him on the shoulder, you get Odegaard playing through balls, you get Smith-Rowe, you get crosses into him. I would definitely try it, maybe in a game against lesser opposition. You don't do it all the time, but I would definitely try it. I think we have to find an alternative. Clement said yes, because Arsenal is a club that loves free transfers. Origi fits into the category as a striker. In my opinion, we need 2 strikers, 2 midfielders. And exactly, listen, we have to, sometimes you've got to look at ways to save money. What you don't want Arsenal to do is go and spend 60 million on a striker and then 40 million on another striker, and you've spent 100 million, when we're probably going to need 2 centre mids. So you get one on a free, spend 60 on the other, then go and spend 60 on your centre mid or 40 on your centre mid. But we'll see. It's a long summer. But Martinelli, for me, gives me more striker vibes than Pepe, in my opinion. Because I just think Pepe, he loses the ball a lot and doesn't drive at fullbacks enough. So how would he deal with 2 centre-backs? Again, you would play him off the shoulder. But listen, maybe you could play them both together. Gunnar Roller said, blow the bag on Osimhen. See, it was interesting. I like Osimhen, I really do. And I think because Napoli are having this investigation into the way the deal was done, they may sell him if somebody paid that 70 million for him. It'll be interesting. Jonathan Amp, we big up for the super chat, said Martinelli's speed would draw so many fouls. That is 100% true. The level of defending in the Premier League is, in my opinion, has dropped considerably over the years. You look at a lot of the centre-backs at clubs, they can be got at. They're not as quick, and I think Martinelli would cause a lot of problems. Don't get me wrong, there would be times where we're struggling and we're pumping it long where it maybe wouldn't work. But I think he would get a lot of free kicks and fouls. McLovin said Pepe balled in France, false nine position, counter-attacking team. Arsenal don't counter-attack well. You know, we attack at a speed that allows teams to get players behind the ball. You look at the way Lille were scoring goals in the French league. They sat back, won the ball back, exploded on the counter-attack. That's why Pepe, you look at so many of his goal highlights on YouTube, he was getting one-on-ones at Lille. Little through ball and he's in. You don't really see it that much at Arsenal. So look at Tottenham, says forever Kroenke out. Martinelli's speed is ferocious. I think looking at it, I would argue Martinelli could be the quickest player at Arsenal. When I really think about it, I don't think Pepe's that quick. Saka's okay pace. He's got a bit of pace. I would say Martinelli's the quickest player at Arsenal in the attack. So why not put him through the middle? Cello said Martinelli's hunger and eagerness is what we need. Press from the front. You look at the two best teams in English football, City and Liverpool. They press. They hunt you down. They win the ball back quick. You know, and I think Martinelli could do that. Martinelli, Saka and Smith-Rowe as a front three could be decent. Maybe you even get Pepe in that front three. You know, you could try something else. The quickest player at Arsenal is Tierney. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what distance that race was over. But apparently Tierney won this race. Or he had the quickest sprint speed at Arsenal. But I don't look at those things as much because I kind of... You know, some players are quicker with the ball. I'm talking in terms of on the ball more. I think Martinelli would be the quickest at Arsenal on the ball. MD said, no worries, Bellerin is coming back this summer. Nah, man, they have to get rid of him. KJ said, Martinelli is fast like Anelka, but we need a passer like Bergkamp or Ozil for the through balls. I mean, dare I say it, we got to hope that Odegaard can... He's not on those two guys' level, of course, Bergkamp or Ozil. David, thank you for the super chat. Again, Rafael Leao, we should buy him, bag in at AC Milan. Now, there was a report about this Rafael Leao. He's in some sort of trouble with his previous club. I think it was Sporting Lisbon. And he's in some sort of financial difficulty. Arsenal are interested in Rafael Leao with a 22-year-old AC Milan forward being targeted by Newcastle if they stay up. He's having a good season. He can play left wing or through the middle. He's got 10 goals and 6 assists in 27 appearances. And he scored against Sampdoria this weekend, which sent AC Milan top of the league. I mean, the first thing I would say, if he's top of the league, why would he leave? You know, they're in the Champions League. His agent is George Mendes as well. It's a very difficult deal to get done. He is having a good season. He is someone I would look at. He would be very expensive. And like I said, if he's in a chance of winning the Italian league, would he come to Arsenal? But he is good. I do like him. Clement said Chelsea won't sell Broja to a rival, especially Arsenal, unless the player is past his prime. They don't want to leave London. Yeah, Willian and David Luiz. Tavares is faster than Tierney. Probably on the ball, I would say, he is. Money, secure the bag in London. And that's the thing. Sometimes it's profile. You know, players will come to the Prem because you're going to almost become a bigger name and a bigger celebrity in that sense. Footballers nowadays are a brand. And when you play in the Premier League, you're a bigger brand, you're a bigger commodity, you get bigger sponsorship deals, you get more wages, you know, and a lot of the time this is the appeal. So Arsenal could probably get a Leao from Milan if they threw the bag at him. But again, I think it will depend what competition Arsenal are playing in next season. It's saying here, I mean, I don't know how true this is, that Leao earns £33,000 a week, which is absolute peanuts for Arsenal. You know, you drop 90 grand on him and he's getting the airport and getting straight out of Milan. Treble that wage calmly, you know, give him 100 grand a week. 2,000 people watching. Amazing support on this Monday. I'm going to start rounding up as got a few plans today with the family, Valentine's Day and all. Can we get 1,000 likes? And make sure you subscribe to the channel, Road to 50k. Link in the description for the Twitch. And don't forget, Speech sponsoring this video. Link in the description. Brand new football app, fantasy football on behalf of OneFootball. It's free to play. You do have to be in the UK and Ireland. And they have £70,000 a week jackpot if you can win the competition each week. So it's worth having a try. Overfloater said, Curtis, I love you, bro. What is this poll all about? We ain't giving you no Origi. Listen, Origi's out of contract in the summer, and it doesn't look like he's going to stay. Let's end that poll. 76% of you said you would take Divock Origi, and 24% say no. So, listen, I think most people would take him. It's a no-brainer. On a free as well. Let's get some of your comments in before we round up. Should put a bid in for Osimhen? Yeah, definitely. I'd be looking at Osimhen at 70 million before I went for Isaac. I think he's better than him. Would Giroud give us a recommendation? Yeah, I think Giroud's had a decent time of it at Arsenal. I wouldn't see why he would hammer us. Origi is decent. Man said Hakkasan. Nah, bro. Mitrovic. Nah, man. Come on. SOF said, do you realise that American football has a salary cap? Every team can only spend so much on wages. Kroenke isn't pumping more money into the Rams than other teams, but he did give them a £5.5 billion stadium. You know, the best stadium in the world. Clement said Wolves are better away from home. Ask Man United and Spurs. Yeah, they will be a harder game for Arsenal at the Emirates because they're perfect for the counter-attack. They want you to attack them so they can catch you on the break. So it will be tough. Osimhen or Nunes? I would go for Osimhen, personally. I know that Nunes is having a good season at Benfica, I believe he's at, but I would go for Osimhen. Osimhen is big, strong centre-forward, good in the air and quick as well. Insigne is a baller. Yeah, I think he's already signed a deal for an MLS club, I think Toronto. Richarlison or Patrick Schick? That Richarlison just wouldn't work with Arteta. He's got too much attitude. They would clash 100%. So go for Schick. He looks all right. He's having a good season as well. Although I haven't seen that much of him. He had a very good Euros. Jonathan apologies. Miss your super chat. Said, if people want Lacazette over Martinelli because a hold-up player, I have to question what is the role of a striker in 2022. I thought it was scoring. I think if you've got wingers like Salah and Mane or Sterling and Mahrez or, you know, wingers that score goals, you can afford to have a Firmino who is a link striker who may only get you 10 goals a season because your two wingers are going to take the numbers. They're going to score strikers' goals. So there's no pressure on the striker. At Arsenal, we haven't got a Mane, a Salah, a Sterling. We haven't got a winger that's going to score 20 goals. Maybe Pepe would if he played all season, but it's not going to happen. So we need our striker to get 15 to 20 goals. This is where the problem is with Lacazette. I just don't think Lacazette is the answer for Arsenal. I think we've got to find a different way of playing. Maybe there's a certain game away from home where you need hold-up play and you use Lacazette. But I would definitely try. Martinelli through the middle. Fran, big up Fran on his Crypto Faith channel. Make sure you go and resubscribe to him. I believe he started the channel again. So let's get his numbers back up. I caught the last bit of your stream earlier, bro. Good stuff. Said, sorry, I'm late, bro. Was doing crypto work. It's Fran. Snake Eye said, free Pepe. Just play him, man. Give him a chance. Bro, honestly, you know what? I know I'm going off topic here. But anyone who watched the Super Bowl last night and that halftime show, every time a song came on, the person came out. So I heard in the club and then 50 came out. So Dr. Dre walks over to the piano and starts playing. I think he started playing I Ain't Mad At You. So I don't know why. I don't know if it was late at night and I was a little bit tired. I'm thinking Tupac's walking out. I'm thinking, yo, is this going to be the biggest show ever? And, you know, we all thought Tupac had been shot and he was gone. He's going to walk out on stage. It's going to be the biggest shock in the history. You know what I mean? And then they switched it up. I thought, I don't know if I was just tired. I thought Tupac was walking out. 50 was hanging upside down. To be fair, Fifth, with the weight you had on, I thought the ceiling was going to collapse, you know? We're calling 50 Cent $1, man. He doubled in size, so I don't know. You know, we're talking crypto. 50 definitely went up from 50 Cent to $1. It was all mad, people. I was tired, man. Forgive me. I thought Tupac was going to walk out. It was crazy. Clement said I would take Haller at Arsenal. He would take a punt on him. There's such a lack of top quality strikers in the world now that whoever you sign, really, we're gonna take a punt. We're gonna be taking a punt on someone. Isaac ain't worth 70 million. Calvert-Lewin ain't worth 70 million. You know, most of these strikers haven't done much to be worth 70 million. But the way the market is right now, and the lack of strikers, you're going to spend big money on a striker that's probably had half a season or one good season in a league that is not even probably as good as the Prem. So it's crazy. It is a crazy time to need strikers. And this is why I think Arsenal have not planned well for this. Because in a market where strikers are overly expensive, we're going to need 2 of them in the summer, which is mad. Which is why I said before, I would take Origi on a free and spend big money on one striker. Abdullah said, big up Big C, I wanted the Rams to lose the Super Bowl. I want Kroenke to go broke so he can sell Arsenal. That is the dream, right? 50 doubled because of inflation. Yeah, yo, I don't know what happened. Trait said, holla. Man's coming with the Ja Rule lyrics. Haaland is worth 100 million. In this market, he's probably worth more. Oh, for Big C, I would love to ask Kroenke if he bought the Rams to win trophies. I think he did. Kevin said Curtis Latoro, Martinez or Osimhen. Oh, that's a tricky one. They're both good players. I think Latoro is a more technically, like he's a bit more of a techie player. He links up play a little bit more. Where Osimhen can stretch the last defense. I think I'd go for Osimhen, you know. I don't know why. Quicker, plays on the last man a little bit more. I think I'd go for that kind of striker. But I do like Martinez as well. 50 Cent is now many men. Oh, nah. Do you know what? You lot are Arsenal next up for investment trust. Gunnar 8 said Patson Dakar. I'm not sure, man. He's all right. He's quick. He's lively. I don't know if he's the answer. I don't think he would come and score 20-odd goals, which is what we need right now. Osimhen is younger. I think we missed the boat with Latoro. You know, we had a chance to buy him last summer. We messed up. People, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for tuning in. 2,000 of you in the chat. Lick down that like button on the way out if you didn't lick it on the way in. Subscribe. Follow the Twitch channel. Link in the description. Download Speech. Link in the description. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Have a great day. And before we go, KJ said 50 Cent ate everything at the candy shop. I'm done. You lot are harsh, man. You lot are harsh. Enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day. I may be a little bit quiet on the channel over the next day or two. I'll be visiting family and stuff. It's half term here in the UK, so I've got to keep the kids occupied, crews and that. So it may be pre-recorded videos tomorrow. We'll be back on Wednesday or Thursday with the streams. And obviously Arsenal at the weekend. Enjoy your Valentine's Day, people. Lots of love, and I'll see you all over the next day or so. Take care, everyone. Bless.